Men have very high libidos compared to women. It's not the same. And I know that you would be like, well, control yourself. I'm sorry, but that ain't really how it works. It's not how it works. I would love to tell you that it just works like that, but it doesn't.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It would be just like saying to a woman, oh, I don't understand why she don't just not be as emotional as she is. Women are made to be emotional and spiritual. They're nurturers. It is in their nature to be so. You can't just tell them to turn it off. You're trying to tell them to turn off being a woman.
Welcome
to the J&O Show,
where we talk about
things that we were never told. I'm Jay.
And I'm O.
And now you know.
If you guys are new to our channel, please make sure that you like, comment, share, and subscribe. Make sure you turn on your post notifications so you can know when we upload, because you never want to miss an episode. Also, if you guys have any ideas for show topics, be sure to drop it down below in the comment section and write hashtag next show so we can give you more of what you want. Okay. All right. So today we actually wanted to talk about something that we've talked about but never really in grave detail, and we hear it talked about or around, I guess, but not really in detail. And so with our unique situation, and when I say by unique situation, because you guys may or may not know that Jay is actually a music producer, and we're pursuing to be more heavily involved in that industry, and that can take a toll on a marriage, on a relationship. People just working in the arts, in those industries, just because of the time commitment and different things that are required of you. So this is something that has come up, just real talk, So basically we wanted to talk about, should I stay with my cheating partner? AKA in your marriage, or even if just in your relationship. Like, what are deal breakers? What is it that will be like, I can't take this anymore, I'm out? So that's what we actually want to talk about today.
Yes. This one is interesting to me because when I was younger, if somebody was cheating on me, it was an automatic negative fail over Brad, without a second thought. It was no thoughts about it whatsoever. If you were cheating on me, it was over, pretty much. I didn't talk to you anymore. We weren't cool. We weren't friends. We weren't anything. And I wasn't necessarily mad. I was in one situation where my partner was cheating. Her thing was she started accusing me of cheating out of nowhere, without any change in our habits or what we were doing or how we were moving or anything. And I was just like, what would make you think all of a sudden I'm cheating and I'm not doing anything different than we've been doing? Like, we have the same schedule that we've been keeping. I didn't do anything different. We didn't have a fight. All of a sudden you're And of course, as time went on and things started to come out as they normally do, because she started to unravel. And I don't know if it was just the guilt plaguing her, or if it was just hard for her to keep up her lies, because I don't know if she was cheating with multiple people. Like, it could have been 3 guys for all I know. I know there was definitely one, and I wasn't even the main guy, which was the whole thing. I was the side dude, and I didn't know it. And it was a situation where her main dude was cheating on her, so she went and cheated on her main dude with me. But because he was out cheating and doing what he was doing, she was left alone a lot of times. So it wasn't like he was checking in on her. So she has time, like a single woman, to be out with me doing what we're doing, because he's not checking for her because he's cheating. And then I don't know what happened, but all of a sudden he started questioning her, and it was also a domestic abuse situation as well on their end. So it was like a lot going on. And I found out that I was the side dude or whatever, and it was automatic dead. Like, as soon as I suspected that certain things were going on, and she was like, oh, he won't leave me alone, he's abusive. I'm like, well, take his butt to jail. I'm not understanding. He hit you, jail time, that's assault. Like, I'm not understanding why you still there, what's still going on. It was just like a lot of mess. And so I've been in this situation where I've been cheated on. I have not cheated on my girlfriends, but I have been the person who gets cheated on. And So I was just, as soon as I felt like, because it never was 100% confirmed, he said, yeah, we're together. Because me and him actually had a conversation. And oddly enough, me and him started like, we're going to be cool. I just was like, I mean, you crazy. I'm not going to be chilling out with you. Like, this is weird. Because you still staying with her then. How we going to be cool? But we started like, and we sort of commiserated on her being like real crazy about the situation. So it was like really weird. But it wasn't even like I had these negative feelings and I was so mad and all of that other stuff. I was just done with you. So if you don't want to act a certain way, then we're done. Like, it wasn't nothing to it.
Right.
Now, 15 years into marriage and, 2 kids, finances completely wrapped into each other. We're moving a certain way and we were watching some videos on YouTube and we were like, yo, would we just do it? And yo, as much as 2-3 years ago, I was like, nah, it'd be a wrap. We'd be done. It's over. And now I'm just like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I really don't, because I'm not 20-something anymore. Dating market is...
Yeah. Yeah, and like Jay, I too was the same. There was no ifs, ands, buts about it. Like, if you were cheating and I found out, that was it. We're done. There's no questions. Okay, bye.
Yep.
And it wasn't a situation where I was like, I mean, of course, I was upset. I was hurt, but quickly moved past it because I was just like, well, obviously I'm not the person for you. So,
right.
Go to whoever it is you want to be with. And that's always been my mindset as well. But as Jay said, it's just like now being, with each other for so long, for like what?
17 years.
Yeah.
This is about to be 18.
Yeah, something like that. I don't know. We've been together for a long time. And, being married for so long, having 2 children, and just everything is just like, I don't know, because I know a while back we had a conversation looking at the Smiths, Will and Jada, and
that was just so hard.
Yeah, and we were just like, I don't know how that really would work, because it's like one of their, I don't know if you guys ever watched the Red Table Talk, but they had one episode, Red Table Talk, where they were talking about how they basically decided that they would never get a divorce and they would always be together no matter what. And obviously it seems as though there was infidelity probably on both sides between the 2 of them, and they decided to still stay in their marriage. And we were just like, yo, like how does one do that? Because it's like, how do you come back from like that trust? Because like I like not being able to fully trust the person that you're with. I just don't know how you would do that. But at the same time, it's like just with anything else, I guess you just figure it out, because everyone is different as far as what they can and can't handle. And I guess that's not something that you would necessarily know unless you're in the situation. It's one thing to say it when you're not in the situation, but when you're in it and you actually have to deal with the day-to-day, it's just like, what do you do?
Yeah. All right. So some of our thinking as to why it's not an automatic cutoff anymore.
Right.
One of my things is, as you get older, you realize that there is no decision that is without consequence.
Facts.
The older you get, every decision you make has a negative and a positive too. The idealistic world of I can make this decision and everything will be okay. Yeah, we got past that.
Right.
We ain't there no more. Like, it's not realistic. Every decision, where you're gonna move, are you gonna have kids, how many kids are you gonna have, how is the work gonna do, what are you gonna do about your purpose, do you already know your purpose, did you find out your purpose late in life? All of this stuff, all of it has positives and negatives to it. And so when you're talking about, yo, it's just automatically over, the average divorce nowadays, I forgot how much, we did it a couple of videos ago, it was like $12,000 was your average divorce price.
Yeah, something
like that. $12,000 just to do it. And then you have to divide all of your stuff. You're starting over from scratch. You're stressed out. You're emotionally just distraught. And you got kids in the middle of it who are going to be even more messed up about it than probably you are. Because a lot of the problems in our world right now is a lot of single parent, unbalanced people problems. And I'm just going to call it what it is. I was going to be sugar and be all nice and everything. But I'm going to just let y'all know flat out, being a parent is the hardest thing that you'll probably ever do outside of maintaining a relationship with the person and staying with them. But the issue is that it makes for unbalanced children. Men and women were made to cooperatively raise children. We are built that way. And anytime that is off, the children are going to have something off. They're going to be overly emotional or underly emotional. They'll be completely spiritually detached or so spiritual that they don't exist in the real world. Like there's always going to be an imbalance one way or another unless you have parents there to balance them. That's why men and women were fit together. All right. So a lot of people don't believe that. And if you have your own personal ideas, like if you're, LGBTQ and all of that other stuff, I just want to let you know there is a consequence to every decision that is made. And it does not stop because you think something is right or wrong. To be quite honest, this world does not care about right and wrong.
True.
You will have negative consequences for making the right decision. It's just the way our world is built. So you have to start thinking about that stuff. It can't always just be the knee-jerk reaction of, yeah, but your children are going to suffer, you're going to suffer, and then you're going to do what? Get out there and try to get with somebody else. And loneliness is a real thing that can lead to depression.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of things that you have to consider and think of. And yes, on the other side, the trust is damaged. So can you ever truly be happy if you stay? You got to think about a lot of that stuff before you just decide to go and run off. And these things, we want to be preemptive.
Right.
Because the industry that I'm attempting to get deeper into, there's a lot of that in there, especially if you start making a certain amount of money doing it.
Right.
The pressure on men to cheat and like the way that they're pursued. Some of these women out here have no shame. The guys ain't never had no shame, but the women can usually, because the women are not as interested in sex as men typically, usually. So they can usually fend them off because they're not really as beat for it.
Right.
Men have very high libidos compared to women. It's not the same. And I know that you would be like, well, control yourself. I'm sorry, but that ain't really how it works. It's not how it works. I would love to tell you that it just works like that, but it doesn't.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It would be just like saying to a woman, oh, I don't understand why she don't just not be as emotional as she is. Women are made to be emotional and spiritual. They're nurturers. It is in their nature to be so. You can't just tell them to turn it off. You're trying to tell them to turn off being a woman.
Right. And
in the same way, saying a man should just, not be a certain way with his libido, you're telling him to just turn it off. So there has to be work within the marriage preemptively to put him in a position where he can, I'm good. I got a wife at home. But if y'all arguing and fussing and your house is a mess, it becomes harder to say that.
Right.
If every time I see you and we don't have a lot of time together, if every time we're alone, it's an argument, it becomes harder when you go out and you have somebody who's clawing at you. That would be for both men and women, but I'm just telling you from the male side, it's easier for us to fall because of our relationship with physicality in general.
Right.
It's different than women. And so she and I begin to have these conversations because it's like, what we going to do? I told her she has to be ready to jump a flight on a moment's notice. And I was dead serious when I said it. I laughed, but I was not playing.
Yeah, no, he's serious.
I was dead serious. I was like, I'm going to be like, babe, I really need you to come out here in California. I know. I know. Call your mama. Tell her to come get the kids. You need to be here, like, by tomorrow. Girl, I'm going to tell you what the hell happened to me today. You want to be here. And I want her to be able to just roll up in the studio and just be, like, sitting there, like, making sure that everything's copacetic if something goes out of it. Because I don't want to lose my marriage. So there has to be some things done. She might have to pack her La Perla and her Victoria's Secrets. And like she ain't gonna have no clothes. She just gonna have a whole 5 days of lingerie in the bag. You think I'm playing?
Really?
She gonna have 5 days of lingerie in the bag, so that we can handle this monster. Because in the music industry, it could be 6 weeks you gone.
Yeah.
2 months you gone. So yeah, she might have to show up with 5 days worth of lingerie in her bag and just plan to be in the hotel, making sure that her boo is good.
Boy, if you don't.
Preemptive action. We are already putting ourselves in the mindset for what my purpose is so that my purpose doesn't destroy my family.
And it goes both ways because as Jay said, we're speaking specifically about this because I feel as though it's a known fact that usually infidelity would happen on the male side, but it doesn't mean it doesn't happen on the woman's side.
It does happen a lot, actually.
Because it does happen, and for the same reasons, believe it or not.
Yep.
It's like if your needs are not being met, whether it's emotionally, spiritually, or just absent, like
or the
guy
dude
isn't
cheated
there,
on her already.
yeah, or the guy cheated on her already, like it's a very high probability, that she can find comfort elsewhere.
Yeah.
So these are just some of the things that, we, like you said, we're preemptively discussing and trying to figure out a way how to overcome it before it even gets here.
Yeah.
Because the best
defense is a good offense.
Right. And we spoke on this, I think, on a couple of videos ago, the art of war. Basically, knowing your enemy is the best way to defeat it. So since we know that this is something that's out there and it's looming, we're preemptively trying to come up with ways to how to deal with that.
Yeah.
So that's not something that we would ever have to worry about.
So I guess she said it's the same way for the men's side. So I guess, depending on what happens to her business, I'm gonna have to show up to her hotel room with a bag full of G-strings. I don't know how that's gonna work out. I don't really do G-strings. I don't know. Maybe it would be like something with a pouch on it. I don't know how that's gonna work out. It don't necessarily translate both ways, but I don't know. We're gonna have to do something.
Just no shirt. That's all. No shirt.
No shirt. Okay, see, we can do that. I can just show up with no shirt on and some boxers, and we good. Yeah. So, what do you guys think? Should you stay with a mate after they've cheated? And I do want you to consider where you are in life. It's easier to say that when you guys have only been dating for 3 months.
Yeah.
Okay, if you've been dating for 3 months.
Yeah, that's different. If it's 3 months and they're already cheating, then you need to be out.
If you didn't even, I'll put it to you like, I might even go so far as to say, if you don't even make it down the aisle.
Yeah.
You might want to consider not going that
way.
You might want to, because, the dating scene is a little crazy, so I understand some people being like, nah, bro, you been with her for what? Almost 18 years, bro. You don't know what it's like out here. So I get that side of it. So if that's where you're standing and you're willing to deal with that, but you have to understand, even when you stay with the cheating mate, there are so many other things that you have to think about concerning them cheating, whether they stop cheating, whether it's a one-time or it's a recurring thing.
Right.
Because now you're talking about disease that they're bringing into your situation. Did they have a condom? Are they going to even tell you the truth about them wrapping it up?
Right.
And what
possible
was the
other children out there?
Yes. What was the sexual history of that person that they slept with? Because you're not just worried about your mate. Now you got to be worried about the sexual history of the person that this person sleeps with.
Yep.
You got to be concerned about what situations. And I can tell you from the experience that we had in our marriage, all of the changes that happened to her physically when we became sexually active in marriage, it was a lot going on with her. There were consequences to us having sex as a married couple. There were consequences to it. There were certain things that started happening that she had to be concerned about. And there is a such thing, depending on person to person, of having too much sex and not having enough sex. All of that stuff, everything has consequences. You can be like, well, we only do it once a month. Yeah, but that might cause other issues only doing it once a month. Yeah. When it comes to comfortability and things of that nature. Oh, we do it. We be getting it in like 3 times a day. Well, yeah, you might get a UTI. Like, all of that stuff has consequences. And if you're bringing another person's DNA and life experience into the relationship, and then y'all still together doing what y'all doing, we ain't even talking about the emotional, spiritual, mental stresses that everybody thinks about. Yeah. I'm talking about other things that you have to start considering if you stay. Right. So it's like, they don't sit in and think that it's easy no matter which way. Like, every way that you turn is going to be difficulties, and there are going to be consequences. Yeah, especially, I was going to say, you were talking about being mindful of your situation. One of the things is age. Like, it's easier when you're younger for you to be able to kind of like bounce back. Right. Or if you don't have any children already in the mix. Right. But if you've been with this person for however many years and you're older, you're mid to late 30s or 40s or something like that, and you have kids, that's also something to think about, because what is that going to do with you going into another relationship? Like, is that person going to be okay being a stepdad or a stepmom? How are they going to be able to relate with your children? All those things are different things that you will have to consider. It's not saying it's impossible, because anything is possible.
it's possible that you can, there's life after marriage, that you could possibly find another person and everything would be okay. But you just have to be cognizant of that. And I guess what you're willing to live with. Yeah, really is what it boils down to.
Yeah, definitely. Some things on that side, as far as getting back in the market, just some sort of blunt facts. The way men look at women, women get on the market to date again. Children for most men is a negative. Not all, because there's some guys out there who want children and maybe can't have them. And so you having your children will be like the answer to their prayers.
Right.
But you're talking about a very small minority. So the later you get out and the more issues and hangovers you have from your marriage, the harder it's going to be for you to find a mate for long-term relationship marriage.
Right.
You'll be able to date and find people to date and find people to go out and have relations with.
Right.
Oh, trust me.
That's not the issue.
Especially as a lady.
Yeah.
You will be able to find a dude that'll make, take care of your needs, them needs.
Right.
He'll hit you off. You know what I'm saying? Some of them might even date you and be like, yo, you're fun to go to the movies with. But we talking long-term relationships. We gonna move in together. We gonna get married thing. Long-term, I won't die alone.
Right.
We're going to be together until death. There are certain things that can happen in a marriage that will make that process harder. For men, we tend to, we look at certain things, and having kids prematurely for the majority of men is not going to be a thing. Having a baby daddy, that means I got to deal with this guy coming into the situation, is a bad thing. And for the women too, you got a baby mama.
Yeah.
And she crazy. I got to deal with her long term. I'm just find somebody without no kids.
Yeah.
Clean slate. Or don't have the baggage from their relationship, just the emotional and mental torment. Yo, it's so much. As usual, we don't got enough time.
Yeah, it's always a lot, guys. But drop us comments down below and let us know, what do you guys think about this topic? Is it a deal breaker for you, infidelity? Once you're married, or in a long-term committed relationship, is that a deal breaker for you?
Yeah.
Let us know what you think in the comment section below, and definitely give us a thumbs up if you are enjoying this content.
Yes. All right. Also, if you guys have anything specific on any topic that we talk about, because a lot of times we gloss over stuff because we don't have the time to have very detailed conversations, because all of this stuff is complicated. This is not easy stuff to go through. So if you guys have any questions, put it in the comment section, like, yo, can you specifically do a video on this portion of that topic, so that we can, like, especially if it's something that's affecting you. We're doing this to help each other, so that we can have a community that helps us to navigate marriage, and so that we can have our couples stay together, or find someone and understand the things to look out for.
Yes.
So
because the numbers, guys, like when you look, it
ain't looking too great.
It's very sad when you look at the statistics out there for the rate, the divorce rate, especially in our community.
Yeah, in our community.
The black and brown community, or what have you. It's disturbing. I want to say it was like upwards of 70.
Yeah, 70%. it was like around 70% of marriages end in divorce below a certain economic below a certain tax bracket, which most of us fall under.
Yeah.
it was really high. It was like 70% of marriages end in divorce below that. It's 50% in the United States across all races. Yeah.
And the numbers as far as single parent homes, I think
it was like
up there
76.
Too. It was like between 70 and 80%.
76%.
That is very disturbing, guys.
It's crazy.
Especially like, I know this video is going to be a little bit long, but especially like how we kind of touched on, it was just the balance with not having basically both the male and female role in the house.
Always consequences.
We wonder what's going on with our generation and with our kids.
There it is. There it is. That's a big part of it.
It's a lot. But yeah, if you, like Jay said, if there's a specific piece that you guys want us to speak more on, definitely put it in the comment section and write #NextShow, so that we know that that's actually a topic that you want us to discuss. And of course, you could just plainly say it as well too. Yeah. But definitely put #NextShow in there, so that way it's easier for us to filter through the comments and be able to get to those, because we want to make sure that we're, providing you value, and that, these are things that you'll be able to apply to your life, because we want to have better relationships so that we can have better families and build stronger and better communities.
So one last comment. What we're talking about in this video, just so they said, is specifically about cheating.
Yes.
There are other issues in relationships where I don't think that you should stay regardless of how long your relationship has been.
Right.
Like domestic abuse.
Yeah.
Because that's very dangerous.
Yes.
And even though the consequences are very steep for breaking up a family, you being dead is about as steep as it gets.
Bruh.
Okay.
So just want to throw that out there before we go. So we can go.
Yeah.
It's like a 25-minute video.
Yeah.
So guys, we love you guys.
Yes.
Stay blessed, stay together, and
Idiom Sounds.
Deuces.
press the off button.